Welcome to Over 50 TV. My name is Lou Reyes, and today I'm going to be telling you about the #1 job interview closing technique in the world, bar none. And I know that seems maybe even like a little bit of hyperbole, but I assure you it is not. The technique I'm going to be telling you about is a time-worn, proven technique that salespeople across the world use to close those deals, those big deals, and they're important deals. And what could be more important than landing the job of your dreams? Well, I'm going to be telling you about the #1 job interview closing technique in the world, and that, my friends, is up next right here on Over 50 TV. Welcome to Over 50 TV. My name is Lou Reyes. Well, as I said before the break, in this video, I'm going to be telling you about the #1 job interview closing technique in the world. And I say it's #1 because I know that salespeople across the world have used this technique to close big deals. And as I said in the opening, what could be more important than closing that deal to get the job of your dreams? Now, I'm going to be telling you about this technique, but before I do, what I want to mention is in the description box of this video, you're going to find a couple of free items for yourself. #1, I've got my free 5-sentence cover letter. I call it a cover letter that hiring managers can't resist. Now, this is something that you can use in conjunction with your resume. Sound out all or part of this cover letter. It can definitely help you to get that hiring manager's attention. Now, I also have in the description box, I've also have a link to a free career aptitude test, and that career aptitude test is courtesy of Career Fitter. If you follow this channel, what you know is a couple things. #1 is I'm a firm believer in research. I'm a believer in understanding yourself to understand where your skills, your talent, and your experience fit best. And I know this, the career aptitude test that you will find in the description box, I believe it can help you to find that job that you are looking for. So now let me talk about the #1 job interview closing technique in the world. And what I'm going to do is this. #1 is I'm going to explain what this close is, what this technique is. Then #2, what I'll do is I'll give you an example. I'll show you how I would use this in an interview. And of course, you can tailor it to just about any subject, any kind of job that you're looking for. And then #3, what I want to do with this is I'm going to summarize it all and really explain to you why or how you can use this in your day-to-day search for a job. So let's get down to it. Let's talk about what is this technique, and I'm going to start just by explaining it to you. The technique is called the ascending close, and this close is based on this technique involves a series of questions that you ask, and every question that you ask leads to the next. All questions that you ask require a yes answer. Now, the reason that this close is so effective is that it's based on the power of suggestion, the power of affirmative answers. Now, when you ask a question, and you should ask a series of 6 questions or more, but each question that you ask your prospect, or in this case, the hiring manager, they're going to be nodding, and they're going to be agreeing with just about everything that you're saying. Now, the ascending close presentation, it's known as one of the most popular closing techniques ever developed because it works. It works in sales, and it can certainly work when it comes to your interview. Now, the motivational public speaker, his name is Tracy. He says this. He says the ascending close, he said it is one of the most brilliant sales methods ever designed. And I got to tell you, I agree with him. I've used it many times in my career. Now, every time you're asking a question, the interest of the prospect, it goes up. Every yes increases their desire for what you're selling. And every time that you ask a yes question, well, what you're doing is you're throwing fuel on the fire, and you're intensifying the emotion of the prospect, or again, in this case, the hiring manager. Now, I want to give you an example of this incredible close, but before I do, I want to give you a word of caution. The ascending close, you want to choose your words carefully because every no that you do elicit, well, it decreases the buying desire. It's almost like throwing water on a fire, but properly designed and practiced, well, this ascending close, you know what? It's one of the most powerful ways of selling ever developed, and it certainly can be used to help you, again, to help you to get that job that you're looking for. So now let me take you through a practice run. I'm going to take you through a practice run of how to use the ascending close. I'll give you an example. Now, keep in mind, you're using this close at the end of your interview. So you've already gone into the office, or maybe you're even doing a Zoom, and you can do that as well. But you've already gone through the entire interview. You've answered all those questions so smoothly. You sound good. You know you gave a great interview. But now it's your turn. It's your turn. You want to close that deal. Now here's a way that I suggest you can do it using the ascending close. So now I'm sitting across from Joe or Sally, HR manager, and I'm going to look right at them and I'm going to say this. I'm going to actually give them this first question. I'm going to say, so you want someone who can hit the ground running, don't you? And of course, they're going to say yes. Then you say, well, I'm sure you want someone who requires the minimal amount of training. Now, isn't that true, Mr. Jones? They're going to say yes. Then you're going to say, well, I'm looking at your job posting, and I know that you want a person who's got at least 10 years of experience as a bookkeeper. Is that still important to you? Well, of course, they're going to say yes. They're going to say, well, I know you want a person who has a history of success in this field. I can tell by your posting. Is that still true? Well, yeah, it is, Lou. Well, of course, you also want somebody who's motivated and somebody who's a team player, right? And they're going to look at you, and you know they're going to say yes. They're not going to say, no, I don't want someone who's not a team player. But then you're going to say, according to your job post, you also want someone who's a good communicator. Is that correct? So now they're saying yes again. Now, you say this. If you found someone who met all the requirements that you want, would you hire them right away? You would do that, wouldn't you? Well, of course, they're going to look at you, and they're going to say, they're going to be thinking about that one. Well, you're going to say this. Well, you know what? I'm sure that you'll agree that I check off all the boxes. I've got the knowledge, I've got the experience, and I've got the skills. I've got all the requirements you need. Isn't that true? And they're going to look at you, and you know what? What are they going to say? If they've agreed with everything you've said, number one, they're going to be inclined to keep agreeing, because they just keep agreeing. And of course, in their mind, they're thinking about all the questions. They're thinking about, why is this person asking me these questions? But you know what? They're questions that are legitimate questions, because they are questions. The questions that you posed are mostly things from the job posting. So yeah, you're going to be asking these questions expecting that yes answer, and there is nothing wrong with at the end saying that to them. Well, if you met somebody who met all these requirements, would you be inclined to hire them right away? And then what you do, my recommendation is you just sit there with your mouth closed, you say nothing. You say nothing. And in sales, one thing that we know is this. The person who talks first is the person who usually loses. So once you ask for the deal, you just sit there and you smile. And you smile. And you wait. And chances are what they're going to say is, well, you know, Lou, I've got some other prospects that I'm looking at. I really need to be fair to them. I mean, they may go and in fact say, yeah, I need to be fair to them. And maybe what they're doing is they're just stalling. But you have actually put that out there. You have let them know you meet all the requirements. And you've done it in such a smooth, succinct way that, you know what, in my opinion, they're going to be inclined to say, you know what, this is a person I can't forget. If they don't hire you right away, they're going to be saying, I'm going to remember this person. And when they look at your resume next, they're going to be thinking, yeah, you know what, this person had their shit together, and I'm really going to consider them, or maybe they've already said, yeah, I'm going to hire this person. So that's the ascending close. That's an example. That's an example that I would use. So there you go, my friends. I've just given you an example of the ascending close, of really how you use it. And again, you're asking a series of questions. Each question must have a yes answer. And at the very end, you say, bam, you say, well, if you found somebody who met all those requirements, would you be inclined to hire them today, right now, immediately, this minute? And hopefully they're going to say yes. Now, chances are they're going to say, well, I need to think about it. But again, they may say yes right then and there. And let me say this about the ascending close. What I love about this is you can use this close with anything, anywhere in your life, because it really does work. It's proven to work, and it does work. And think about this. Think about if somebody was sitting across from you asking you these questions. And you're saying yes and yes and yes and yes and yes. And then you're thinking at the end, they're asking to close a deal. And you're thinking, yes. Yeah, this is a great close. And I really, really like it because it's worked. I've used it, as I said, I've used it over decades. You know, I built a whole business. When I first started in sales, I started as a publisher, built a chain of business-to-business magazines. And I was out there every day using this close. When you're in sales, when you're in real sales, you're out there and every sale you make is going to feed you and it's going to feed your family. What you've heard from me today, it's not from a hiring manager who turned YouTube guru who's going to teach you how to interview. It's not from some headhunter who turned guru and when it comes to teaching you how to get that job. No, this is from somebody who's been in sales, who understands sales and knows the importance of really being good at it and developing your skills. So this, to me, master this skill, because I believe if you master this skill, this is going to help you to land that job of your dreams. And it's also, as I said, you can use it in any part of your life because it really does work. Now, if you want more information on this particular close or any of the other closes that are out there, I do have a channel, another YouTube channel called Side Hustle Rules. Subscribe to that channel. I'll publish some videos to that channel on closing and how to close that sale, how to help you to get that job, how to help you to get that job of your dream, just by using some of the closing techniques I'm going to be talking about on Side Hustle Rules. Now, I also have a Patreon channel. It's by subscription only. I will be doing some workshops on that channel. Workshops that will also help you when it comes to learning how to close that deal. I absolutely enjoy what I do. I absolutely enjoy sales. I've studied it. It's a science, and it's a science that really does pay off if you can master it. So I highly recommend that you use this ascending close presentation at the end of your interview when it comes to getting that job and really putting yourself in that person's mind and letting them know that you are serious about this job and you want it. Well, my friends, that is all I have for you today. I really want to thank you for watching this video. And again, I want to remind you that I do have the free 5-sentence cover letter, a cover letter that hiring managers can't resist. You can use all or part of it. It goes in, it's in conjunction with your resume that you send out. And I also have, of course, I do have the career aptitude test, the link to a free career aptitude test, and that is in the description box. So as I said, that's all I've got for you. As you could tell, I think you tell anyway, at least as far as I get excited, I was excited today about this video because I know it can help you. So again, that's all I got for you. As I always say, have a great day, everybody.